Russia wants jam F-22 and F-35 in the Middle East. How serious they are. Russian troops have disrupted GPS systems in the Middle East. Electronic warfare campaigns can influence U.S. troops gathered in the region before a potential attack on the country, and Russia has a lot of equipment to test. Since last spring, pilots flying through the Middle East, specifically around Sana'a, have noted that their GPS systems have either indicated the wrong location or stopped working completely, The Times of Israel reported in late June 2019. Signals that have disrupted satellite navigation for planes flying through Israeli airspace in recent weeks have come from Russian air bases inside Sana'a, according to data collected by US-based researchers. This interference with the acceptance of the global positioning system does not appear to be specifically directed at Israel, but rather the Jewish state is likely to have collateral damage in an effort by Moscow to protect its troops from drone attacks and to assert its dominance in the field of electronic warfare. Todd Humphreys, a professor at the University of Texas, told The Times of Israel, Israeli sources are increasingly convinced that 3 weeks of GPS disruption for civil aviation is a side effect of Russian disruption and spoofing there, Breaking Defense reported. Moscow is trying to disrupt both Western aircraft, including stealthy F-22s and F-35s, and improvised unmanned terrorist aircraft. The U.S. Air Force began in April 2019 to deploy secret F-22 and F-35 fighters to Qatar and the United Arab Emirates, respectively, as part of a wider army buildup when Washington clashed with Tehran following the decision of U.S. President Donald Trump unilaterally to withdraw the United States from agreements that limit weapons programs. Now, the situation is full of rumors, with the Israeli government avoiding official statements and still investigating other sources. But if Russia really accidentally interferes with the GPS of a friend's country, why don't they stop? The answer may lie in the boundaries of the Russian electronic warfare, which, although much stronger than the U.S. military electronic warfare, still rely on raw power more than targeting precisely. The International Federation of Israeli Airline Pilots Association and Airport Authority in late June 2019 announced that many flights lost GPS satellite signals when flying in or out of Ben Gurion International in Israel, Breaking Defense reported. There are no risks for passengers, according to the IAA. Affected aircraft only switch to a backup system. Interestingly, ground-based GPS systems are not affected, Breaking Defense said. That makes specific GPS flight jams suspicious, another sign that it's not a simple mistake but a kind of electronic weapon. And Russia has invested heavily in high-powered spoofing systems that send fake GPS signals up to 500 times stronger than the original, thus misleading civilian navigators with miles-mil. Russia has also disrupted GPS in Europe. Random GPS signals were first detected during the large-scale NATO Trident Junction exercise in Norway at the end of October 2018, Defense News reported. The Norwegian Defense Intelligence Agency said that it was tracking the source of the signal interference to the Russian military base on the fortified Kola Peninsula. Finnish military intelligence says Norway's analysis reflects its own investigation and evaluation. In late 2018, Finland and Norway filed complaints with Russia over the disturbance. The head of civil defense and aviation in Finland and Norway warns that GPS interference poses a serious risk to military and commercial aircraft using affected airspace in the high north, Defense News said. Russia is asking us to provide evidence. We gave them proof, Norwegian Defense Minister Frank Bakke-Jensen told Arctic Today. The proof consists of measurements that indicate the signal has jammed. Russia said, "Thank you, we will return when our experts review it," Bakke-Jensen said. To get an answer like that from Russia is a positive thing, he said. Bakke-Jensen implies the disturbance was intentional. They exercise very close to the border and they know this will affect the area on the other side, Bakke-Jensen said of Russia. The U.S. Army plans to test a GPS system that is resistant to traffic in Europe as a potential move to fight Russia's electronic war. The 2nd Army Cavalry Regiment in Germany must obtain a new jam-resistant GPS by the end of 2019.